What's up, guys? Atapark here, and today I want to talk to my fellow Raiders. I want to talk to you guys about a mentality that I've seen, a mindset, something that I really don't like. I want to share with you guys a story, and I want to kind of spark some discussion with you guys about what happened, what's going on, and your thoughts regarding it. So, about, let's say, a week and a half ago, one of the players in my guild came to me and he said, "Hey, look, I have a group of players that I have played with, kind of on the side thing. We've raided when, the guild isn't doing their main raids and whatnot. And these guys, their group kind of broke up. They're looking for a home and they would like to join us. Great. It's a great opportunity for us to get some new blood into the guild, to, put some competition into the group, to kind of push people a little bit. And it's never really a bad thing, as we've talked about, to have a few people riding the bench ready to fill in spots when, shit happens. People are stuck at work, people's computers blow up, as is happening right now in my guild, or simply people are not performing as they should be. So I said, great, let's go ahead and bring them over. Send me a list of what they got. We'll talk to them, all that good stuff. So he sent me a list the next day. He texted it to me, and one of the items on that list, one of the players was a blood DK. Problem with that was I'm a tank, and I have a paladin tank. So we don't need a blood DK. So my response back was, look, man, we don't really need a tank. What is the plan with this guy? And after a few minutes, after a little bit of discussion, presumably him and his friends, they came to the conclusion that he was perfectly fine, while not completely content with it. He was perfectly fine with not tanking. He was okay. Instead, he would roll a Shadow Priest and he would join us in the raid as a ranged DPSer. Exactly what we needed, exactly what we wanted. Happy for everybody, right? The one caveat, and really the reason why I want to discuss this with you guys, and I want to get this out there to tell you I don't like it, if we're being very blunt, is he said, hey, my friend said he's more than happy to go ahead and switch. But we just have to run him through, some of the mythic Emerald Nightmare and heroic Emerald Nightmare. Just get him geared up. Now, don't get me wrong. It's fairly easy if you are coordinating, if you know what you're doing, to get a player geared up from a fresh level 100 with, let's say 750, 760 item level, and boost them up in maybe a week or two to 850. We've done it with a fresh druid, some guy in my guild, one of the main players in my guild, decided he wanted to kind of transition. He took a little bit of a break, and he transitioned to a resto druid, and we boosted him up in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Totally doable. However, here is what I don't like, is the mentality that you as a player have earned or deserve the entire guild, the entire group funneling you gear in a main raid for no other reason than you being in the guild, your necessity for that group, that you have earned them funneling and essentially, tagging along with this group and, kind of getting loot for doing minimal effort or literally being a detriment to the raid. Now, we're not talking about people that are just shitty raiders. We're talking about people that simply cannot perform. You cannot tell me that, in a normal non, top tier, world 10, plus guild that someone with 825 item level or 830 or 815 is going to be able to compete in heroic Emerald Nightmare. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. It's just one of those things where logistically it does not make sense. And that's something that really kind of frustrated and pissed me off, was this mentality that this guy had, that he's earned this right, that simply by coming over and switching from a blood DK, from a tank, something that we completely as a group, as a guild, did not need, over to a Shadow Priest, I believe I said, was enough for him to warrant a run through. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I do believe, and I highly encourage my guild leaders, my raid leaders, my officers, those of you in this situation to push on non-raid nights to get this guy gear. Run him through a heroic, run him through a mythic. If you are raiding in, let's say Mythic Emerald Nightmare, Mythic or Heroic TOV, and you're able to kind of get this guy to tag along and kind of leech gear off of you, great, go ahead and do it. If your raid is not raiding tonight, if your guild is on an off night where they're not doing anything, absolutely funnel the shit out of gear to this guy. Do it. And that's totally fine. That is the acceptable way to do it. Because one, you are participating as a group in guild activities. You're giving this guy gear that he obviously desperately needs. And it's one of those things where it's not a detriment to anybody. You wipe in a mythic dungeon or a heroic dungeon, nobody cares. Like, okay guys, let's try it again. Suck less. You wipe in the raid and you just killed 19, 20 people, for a mythic. You just killed your whole raid group, a huge amount of people that have to invest their time and energy into something that is not beneficial in the long run to the raid. One person is not beneficial to the entire raid and does not deserve to tag along and to leech gear off of players that have been there and that have put forth the effort. And I see this all the time. That's why I wanted to talk about this, because it's not one person that I've seen do it. It's not this one Blood DK that's done it. It's time after time after time. I've seen players that have raided with us in the past for years. Guys that have raided with us for 2 years. Taken a break, gone to college, come back. Life happens, whatever. They're gone for a year or 3, and they come back, and it's, well, give me gear. I've seen people that have said, I just came back into raiding. I want to raid with you guys because I raided with you in the past, 1 or 2 years ago, and you should take me no matter what, regardless of my failing mechanics, regardless of the fact that I don't have gems and enchants. And what do you mean there's new potions and flasks? What about the Warlords of Draenor ones? Don't those work? Shit like that. It's like, you haven't earned anything. You deserve nothing. A guild and a group that is raiding, and I've said this definition before, is a like-minded group of people. That's the first part to it, is a like-minded group. And when you have someone that comes from the outside in that isn't like-minded, i.e. they're not pushing forth their numbers, they're not pushing forth the damage and the healing and, tanking to the best of their fucking ability, a like-minded group, that person's a detriment. And then the second part to that, a like-minded group of people with a common goal. If 19 of us here, you guys that are watching this video, if 19 of us, our goal is to kill Mythic Xavius, before Nighthold comes out or before whatever comes out, and that 20th guy, his goal is to get geared to start doing mythics with us, that's those two don't align. The 19 of us have already pushed. We've already done Mythic Plus after Mythic Plus, and we've ran normal and heroic and mythic, and we've pushed and pushed and pushed. And I'm not saying that you can't get there as a player. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying don't have the mentality and mindset that gimme. You guys should run me through this crap. I should tag along and you guys should give me gear. Instead, your mindset should always be in this situation, and I'm telling you guys, is I'd love to come. I know I'm not where I need to be. I'm a detriment to the raid. I can't keep up. Simply the numbers, I can't keep up. So fill my spot tonight. I'm going to run a mythic. I'll see what I can do tomorrow night or whatever the next raid is. And if it is an off night, push to get help. Push to and I've said this before, reach out to those that are doing it. Whatever class you're playing, is someone else playing them in the raid group? Are they performing to the best of their ability? are they on par with their peers? If you look at the logs and you see that, all the other mages are doing a bazillion damage, and your one of your mages in your raid group is doing a bazillion damage, talk to them. Do everything that you can to make sure that you are pushing yourself and that you're catching up, because that's essentially what you need to do, is catch up. Regardless of what the deal is, you took a break and you're coming back, you're switching mains, you're doing whatever, doesn't matter. You got to catch up, and that means you catch up. That doesn't mean that you have earned the right just because you want to raid in a guild or a group to get dragged through shit that people have already completed and cleared and pushed, and blood and sweat and tears and late nights and research, and you're on their heels doing jack shit. So again, guys, make sure that if you want to get there, if you want to get in that group, that you are doing everything that you can on your time so that you're not wasting their time. With all that being said, guys, I'd love some comments in the comment section below. Obviously, let me know what you guys think. Have you been that player? Have you seen that player? What is your guild's kind of routine and mindset when it comes to people that switch to a different different main, or whatever, they take a break and come back? I want to know. I'm sincerely interested in it. And until next time, guys, I'll see you.